Hello, this is Kerie Logan at Empowered Within. And the number one question people always ask me is, why did you become a hypnotherapist? I didn't wake up in the middle of the night when I was a little kid saying, wow, I want to be a hypnotist. So I'm going to first tell you how I became one and kind of why. So with my background, I grew up with the inner peace movement. I learned visualization and meditation and imagery at a really, really young age. And I loved it. And I really liked the peacefulness and the serenity that all these spiritual people had. So I really connected to that. And in my 20s, I was with corporate America. I had a background in the wine industry. I worked for Fetzer Vineyards, Corbel, Willamette Valley Vineyards up in Oregon. And I kind of got to the point where I wanted to do something different. Because when 9/11 happened, the economy went sour. And at that moment, I just prayed. Honestly, I just prayed to the universe, and I said that I wanted to be of service to people and to this world, and I wanted to really make a difference. So the next job that I got from that was doing grief support, grief therapy. And yes, it was very challenging and rewarding. I did some life coaching. That lasted sort of so-so. And then I got laid off again, and I couldn't find another job. So, me having a spiritual background, I went to speak to one of my friends, and she said to me, Kerie, you've done everything you need to do here in Oregon. You are going to move back to California, and the perfect job is waiting there for you. In fact, it's everything you've been asking for, and it's going to be handed to you. And I looked at my friend and I was like, you're nuts. I'm a single mom. I can't afford to move back to California. And I've been trying to get a job here. I like living here. And she said, Kerie, you can fight it, but the perfect job is there for you. You just have to trust. Everything is lined up. So, of course, being like the average person, I fought it. I ran out of my second round of unemployment benefits. I literally was about to become homeless. And I went to the state, and they would have hired me, but I didn't speak Spanish. So the state helped me put my stuff in storage, and I called a local family friend that lived in Sacramento, and I asked if I could move there and stay with her and find a job and see, what comes up. I might have better luck. And she said yes. So I packed everything up and I drove down to California. And within a week, it was so fast, I get a phone call. And I had my resume on monster.com. And this gentleman tells me, can you meet me in an hour and a half? I really want to meet you. And I said, okay. And the thing about this job is it didn't say that it was for hypnosis. What drew me to this job was that they wanted someone with a positive mental attitude, someone that liked to make a difference in this world, that enjoyed working with people, inspiring people, that did have a sales and management background. And that was pretty much it. So when I get there, it was Positive Changes Hypnosis. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. I believe in hypnosis. I think it's awesome. I told him, I've used meditation and imagery, and I find it so fascinating. He gives me a tour, and I had this big, 3-inch portfolio full of all these letter of recommendations, buyers I've met with, people I've trained, you name it. It was just full. So I sit down and I'm handing out my portfolio and I say to him, here, Do you want to see everything I've accomplished? I've done what people have to say about me? And I'm smiling as I say this. He said, no. I knew I was going to hire you the moment I read about you. And then as soon as I met you, that just confirmed it even more. The job is yours. You just tell me what hours you want, when you want your vacation, your rate of pay. The job's yours. And I literally was floored because my friend was right. Yeah, the perfect job was handed to me. So I first started off doing evaluations, and I work very good with people, listening to them. And the really nice thing about working for this company, or I would say the owner at the time, is he wanted everyone to be trained in hypnotherapy. So he paid for all of us to, get all the training that we needed. And working for Positive Changes Hypnosis, they offer a lot of training for weight loss, stop smoking, cancer. So it was free training galore. I mean, it was the most amazing thing. And then I got the opportunity to move actually back home to Marin County, Northern California, and work in different centers over there. And the most interesting thing that I learned about that was I wanted to do a management position, and they made me take a test. And the test was to see if I would be good at sales, management, or hypnosis. And the really thing that was interesting about it is when I took the test, I was like 2 points below what I needed to be for sales and management. But when they compared me for being a hypnotherapist, they said to me, Kerie, if we didn't know that you were really good in sales and management and we just took you at this face value, you scored 98%. And no one has ever scored that high, and we will be knocking on your door to want to hire you. So I started doing more hypnotherapy, and I actually really, really loved it. And the most fun thing about it was I started incorporating my style and my own techniques from what I've learned over the years with meditation and imagery and just connecting to a person's spirit, that people loved it. They really, really loved it. And I got an award for teaching nutrition classes and weight loss classes. And I started having people tell me, Kerie, you can have a center just like this. You are so good at what you do, and you have a gift. And I started putting that out there in the universe. And yes, there was a lot of fear based for me, being a single parent with this, but I persevered. And I was putting it out there. And then the interesting thing is one of the co-founders actually said, Kerie, you are so great at what you do, and I have met hundreds of hypnotherapists, and I've never met anyone like you. And as soon as I learned about your spiritual side, what you really do, that was like the cherry on top of the cake. And right now, with what you've been doing, it goes against our franchise policies. You have to be doing what's in this like little box, the scope of what everyone else does. And it's causing conflict. So he actually gave me the software to start my online business. He told me this is what you can advertise for and this is what you cannot. And it was like the greatest gift. And I literally started my own business and built it from there. And then here's the interesting kicker. It was the day before Thanksgiving, and I got in a disagreement with the owner's sister, and I had a feeling like she was trying to get me fired. So I went to the office manager and I talked to them and I said exactly that. Hey, I think she's trying to get me fired. And she looked at me and said, yes, in fact, she is, and here's your final check. And I was floored. I was literally amazed. I'm like, what? I have like 3 months booked of clients. Why are you doing this? And she said, well, she's family and you're not. And it's been too much of a conflict and we need to let you go. So when I went home, I put my hands up to the universe and I was like, look, if this is really what I'm meant to do, if this is my gift, my calling, then give me a sign that is so clear I cannot mistake it, for I love what I do. And I know in my heart this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So, after I did that, I called up the lady. Of course, she didn't answer the phone. And I thanked her for firing me. And I told her that I will look back at this moment and it will be a blessing in disguise. So thank you. The very next day, which was Thanksgiving, a client, because a lot of clients actually end up becoming friends of mine, she came over and she's like, Kerie, I feel so bad and I feel so sorry that, this happened to you. And you really do have a gift and you are amazing at what you do. And I have this little nest egg that I've had saved up and I want to help you start your own business. I'm giving this to you, no strings attached. And she hands me a check for $10,000 and says, Kerie, I want you to start your own business. And that was pretty much it. I mean, talk about the powers out there. So, yes, my style is different. I would definitely agree with what I do being a hypnotherapist. I don't even like considering myself a hypnotherapist because of all the stigma that's behind it. I never like seeing the stage hypnosis or even want to be a part of that, because what I really feel is important is when I look at someone or when I work with someone, I don't see your stuff. I see where you are now, and I really see the wholeness of who you are, without the judgment, without the baggage, without all that stuff. And it's a joy, a true joy and pleasure to see someone's life be transformed and for you to get peace of mind or to accept yourself or you have more self-confidence. And it's just, I am so blessed, I have to say, to be doing this work. I'm very, very lucky and I'm very, very happy doing what I do. And yes, it's different, the work that I do. So I kind of look at it as I'm an intuitive hypnotherapist. And everyone basically says that. It's sort of like I'm reading you. I'm seeing all of you. And it's not my place to judge it or condemn it or think you're wrong or broken. I really see the fullness of who you are. And my job, if you allow me and trust me, is to soothe you and guide you into alignment so you match with that part of you, your spirit that's been calling you home. And it's really neat. It's very, very refreshing. And yes, I could have still lived in Northern California, but the one thing I really wanted the most out of this job was I wanted to be able to live wherever I want, that I could travel, that I could really be of service to everyone around the globe. And that's exactly, what I'm doing now. And it's great. So I hope that gives you a little bit more information about me, why I became a hypnotherapist, how I landed really that opportunity, and it was all good. So thanks for listening, and you have a wonderful day. Take care.